Sky.
Hi, Aaron. How are you doing?
Good, Sky. How are you? I have to tell you some things. Are you ready?
I'm in.
Okay, so in the pre-show, you guys were talking about sayings. I think where you landed, what you were trying to say was the world at your fingertips. But I found some other ones you can also use. Are you ready?
Ooh, I'm ready.
All right. The sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
The world is your oyster. All doors are open. The ball is in your court. The world is your stage. And everything is within reach. I don't like that one as much. But
Man, I mean, you're CEO of the company. If I was you, I would just walk around once a week and I would just tell everyone, you walk around, fill them with confidence. Just use a different one every time. And they're like, yeah, the ball is in my court.
Just constantly make motivational in-person content. I don't even see people. Just walk around my house. That's what you want me to do?
Just tell the dog, and next thing you know, they're just jumping over the fence.
Are you having a snow day today? It looks like you're at home.
No, I did what you did. Clients come first or opportunities come first. So I met with a construction company at a taco joint not too far from you. Shelley's is the name of it. You have a client coming into your office. So you're in Waldo, right?
Yep. True story.
The snowstorm. You know who doesn't have snow days?
Everybody that doesn't live in Kansas?
No, Evardy Construction and Bestway International, because they never stop working for their clients.
I love that. With that said, I do want to know, are you watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn? It looks like we have quite a few people watching today, probably because it's snow day. Paul says he's watching from a dog sled on the way to the liquor store to stock up for this store. Isn't this storm almost over?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, he's a comedic writer. I'm pretty sure he guest wrote for Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary.
Did you watch it?
I've watched almost all of it. I think I got 2 more skits left.
I haven't watched any of it yet. That's on my to-do list for this weekend when I'm traveling. So awesome. So yes, we are very, very lucky to have both Evardy and Bestway International as our sponsors. Nobody cares about us. Let's get to our guests.
Woo.
It's kind of a weird day. I don't have as much energy. I think it's because of this snow, man. I'm so over it.
I kind of feel like, not to talk a little bit about one of our guests does, but you're in a flow state of mind. You're at that peak. You're flowing. So, maybe.
You know what though? Today there was a conference I've been debating on, and it's in Miami the first week of March. And I really should go, but you give yourself a million excuses not to go. And today I was like, Miami it is.
Yes.
So I am headed to Miami. Fred says he's watching from his office in KCK, but he wish he was building an igloo with the kids. You know what? I'm purposely avoiding my house where all the teenagers are right now. It's too many days at home with these teens. Okay, let's do this. Let's get this started. Let's bring our guests in. Let's get to our terrible music.
Great. It's great music. It's great art.
Terrible. All right. Today, our first guest is David and Michael. Hello. Hi, guys. How are you? Sorry about our music. Scott loves it. So it's the one thing I let him be in charge of. Well, welcome. We're so excited for our guests to get to know you. So let's just jump into it. David, who are you? What do you do? And how do you get to Kansas City?
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. I'm David Boschma. I grew up in Olathe, born and raised, loved it, and then decided to go to school in small town Iowa called Central College. It's in Pella, Iowa, famous for its tulip festivals, if you guys have ever been. And then, funny story, my mom actually found the college because our last name Boschma is Dutch. And so I was like, hey, we should just go visit this place. Ended up playing tennis and football for a year. Decided 2 sports at college was probably enough for me. So just stuck with tennis. Loved it. Then ended up graduating with an accounting degree in 2021. Not to date anybody, but did that. Then decided to move back to Kansas City because that's where home was. All family. Brother got married, had a kid finally, Rowan. So very exciting, and just love being around them. And so, yeah, that's kind of my story and how I ended up back in Kansas City from college.
David, what is your favorite thing you do today, and what problems do you solve?
Yeah, forgot to mention, part of Flow Growth Partners, kind of a spinoff from a previous fractional company, and we do interim project-based fractional accounting, a little bit of HR, essentially things that maybe a CEO wouldn't want to do that get pushed off to a CFO type. That's our business and what we specialize in. So it's a variety of things and a variety of hats that you can wear in a certain time and client. So
what is your favorite part about what you do?
Definitely meeting people. There's been a lot of opportunities and places, people, networks that never would have dreamed of being in, meeting, seeing. And so that's been a lot of fun, and people are what make the business and just life in general. So I don't know if that answers that, Scott. But.
Let's talk about the networking piece of your job.
Yeah.
Tennis is a great networking opportunity. And then as you get older, you go over to pickleball. So are you still playing tennis, and kind of like where are you using that as the networking?
I have not played hardly any tennis in the past couple of years. Definitely a lot of pickleball. I'll play pickleball pretty much every Friday morning in the good weather with my dad in the neighborhood. There's lots of semi-retired, retired old dudes in the neighborhood that love to play. So that's been a great networking experience, because you're on different teams bouncing back and forth with new people. So
if you have your choice, tennis or pickleball?
Can I throw in golf? I'd rather golf. So
you'd rather golf?
I taught myself how to golf recently, so that would be it.
Scott and I golf. I'm the worst. Aren't I, Scott?
You're not
Scott
bad.
Scott will be like, if we go golfing, you can see Taylor Swift's house from the golf course. I'm like, done. Okay, I'm in. All right, look, we have all sorts of people here today. Jessica says she's here. She made it. And Lacey said hello to All in Cold KC. Well, thank you for joining us, David. All right, Michael, who are you? What do you do? And how do you get to Kansas City?
Okay, so my name is Mike Beeler. Me and my wife, Ericka Beeler, kind of founded Beeler Consulting. It's very healthcare focused. I would say it might be easier to start with just Kansas City ties. We both grew up in the area, from kind of part of Lenexa, like 87th and 435. If anybody's familiar with that area, has exploded since I was, just a youngster running around to those baseball fields out there. And then Ericka grew up in like Stillwell, which is also expanded, just south of Kansas City. So our ties are deep there. We both went to Pittsburgh State, met out there. I did track and field there just for sports ties, since that came up naturally. Do golf as well, but I'm very poor. Hit the ball a mile, just don't know which way it's going. And then, after graduating there, both kind of found ourselves pursuing healthcare. Ericka has done everything from, boots on the ground, CNA, phlebotomist type work, to practice management, all the way up to C-suite strategy and kind of operations in healthcare. And then I am more on the clinician side, between kind of balance and duties at Beeler Consulting and kind of the glue guy holding things together. Also do anesthesia on the side. It's like a physician assistant for anesthesia. It's called anesthesiologist assistant. Do that at St. Luke's Plaza part-time, and kind of juggle those two things. Got 3 kids, just juggling that with the snow days and all the weather going on. Kind of just trying to make life work, wearing all these new hats. Launched in April. Beeler Consulting's probably done everything from practice management for independent physicians to kind of one-off projects and looping in a team of 1099s on that, to the reason Ericka's not here is she's actually on her way back from a plane from Nashville at Vive, which is like a digital health conference, real big deal. We really enjoyed being out there. And some of our clients have been in that space, kind of tech, AI, healthcare niche stuff. And that's been really fun to be a part of too. So even sales and just all sorts of things in the past year, discovering all sorts of kind of verticals and what we want our identity to be. So
So, Mike, outside of maybe selling a physician's practice, what is a project that you really, really want to do more of at your company?
It's funny you say, like, I think it's interesting to have, like, we did a home health company that we sold recently. And I know you said aside from doing that, but that was really fun to kind of be the middleman on that. And if I'm not doing that, then I would say probably some of these sales side startups that have a huge impact in a kind of organization or, industry that has some room for improvement, can make high impact just with an introduction,
So, David, as we pivot to you, what was the most pivotal point in your career?
Yeah, I think in the short span that it has, definitely meeting Andy Erpelding and getting opened my eyes to the possibilities of accounting and all the types of businesses and aspects that you can go into. And it was weird during COVID, didn't really have any internship opportunities to get to see, get my hands dirty in a company for a couple months. And so had a pretty limited viewpoint of what my options were out of college. And so went and worked at a smaller family practice in Overland Park, and then was kind of like, oh, this is the same thing every single day. And so meeting Andy and getting in the fractional accounting space, it opened my eyes to a lot of possibilities and opportunities that I didn't think were available. So getting out and meeting people it's not typical accounting things. So definitely found a good spot.
Same question as Mike. So outside of helping one of your clients sell their business, what are the projects you look for the most?
Yeah, so most of the projects are helping business owners and leaders do what they do best. And so that looks like, hey, maybe you're doing AP and you're running a company. Should you actually be the one handling accounts payable? Should you be doing some of these things, or is your time best spent growing the business, making more revenue for the company, and doing what you do best? And so at Flow, our goal is to have some friction points and have those flow better in your company.
I love Erin's eyes were going up and down. She's
I was trying to look it up.
Okay, I was thinking of like the marketing strategy for it.
Yeah. No, I was looking up there. I mean, as a small business owner, you end up doing a whole bunch of things that you probably are not good at, right? But you don't know how to get those.
And it's sort of not replacing, but helping what used to take, or what takes some people 40 hours a week. Realistically, you can trim down a lot of that stuff with new technologies and ways of doing it to 10, 15 hours a week. And that's where we come in. And I personally work with the companies, with clients, for however much time that they need. A good quote, or what Andy likes to say, is we're a book on the shelf. We're there when you want to pick it up, and when you don't need it, we're still there, and you can call and we'll be there for you. So
I love that. Lacey says, such a huge demand for CPAs in your service. She would like to connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, Scott.
Well, I was going to make a comment of networking in the audience, but I got to stay on track. Mike, what was the most pivotal point in your career thus far?
Yeah. I think to kind of follow up on the previous question too, about like what projects we look for the most, really just anything that kind of allows providers to focus more on taking care of patients and some sort of synergistic relationship, much like what he was describing, and kind of allowing people to do what they do best and kind of removing some things from their plate, such as, aiding in the operations of practice management so that the physicians can just focus on what they like to do, or any projects related to that, whether that's developing a new service line for a hospital in the area or anything of that nature. But I would say most pivotal point thus far would probably be, since we just launched in April, you could certainly, I feel like that's kind of the easy answer, right? It's just taking the leap of faith and kind of proof of concept. But considering how the year had gone, I would say probably most pivotal point is just a couple months ago at year end and kind of starting to pick those niches that we really want to hammer into a little bit more and really kind of do some more networking or some more marketing in the space rather than just kind of organically growing those areas and kind of betting on what verticals to chase and how we can provide the most value to clients. So
I always think it's interesting in the beginning what you think the best thing is going to be, and it may end up changing. But right now, what makes you the most excited on a vertical you want to tackle?
I think in the healthcare space in general, it seems like certain kind of categories within the industry are starting to get real desirable from like a private equity standpoint. And those hold periods have been, say, traditionally private equity wants to kind of hold an asset for 5 years. There's been a lot of examples of that, those groups kind of holding longer towards 7-year periods. And so I think a lot of that money will start to turn over, hopefully see some more kind of, more reps in that space. And I think there's power in that to be able to kind of empower physicians or those who kind of own their own healthcare businesses to look at an exit that they may not have thought possible, or potentially, merge or do all sorts of things. I think that space is really exciting and we're looking forward to learning more about it,
I think you also need to celebrate in April because 21% of businesses fail in the first year. So you're already ahead.
Yeah. So most pivotal moment thus far is survival, right? That's the celebration. So yeah, it's been going well. It's been fun.
Awesome. All right, David. How are your 2025 goals going, and how can the Kansas City community help you?
Yeah, so I have never been the person to set goals. And actually earlier this year, I was like, this is probably something I should start doing and having goals and things to strive towards. One of those was getting out and just meeting new people and also following up on connections that, I've already made. And so I guess a hard and fast trying goal was to try and meet 2 new people a month in a like coffee, brunch, lunch type setting and really work on like personal connections. Because not that networking events at happy hours aren't great and it's good to meet people, but actually sitting down and talking with somebody, I think really builds a relationship that you just can't fabricate. And so trying to do 2 new people a month, and then as well as pull up with 2 connections that I already made in a month. So pretty much schedules out to about 1 a week. So that's the goal for me. And the other thing, I have just a long timeline for career. And so just meeting people and getting connected with great people is just like where I need to be right now and what I'm most focused on, because there's a lot of time between here and whenever the sunset is, I guess.
How are you meeting the people you're doing the coffees with right now?
So a lot of them, thanks to Scott, have been just recommendations and connecting people. And so it's definitely fun I'm definitely that same type of brain where it's like, oh, you would really enjoy meeting this person. And so a lot of through that and just trusting people who have been in a good position and I look up to help with that. And so
Jessica Powell says happy hours are the best. So you should go to more happy hours.
I know. So anybody, open invite, anybody has any, send me some, because I will.
What about a golf happy hour? Oh.
Okay, I could do that.
You'll probably run into Paul and Fred. Jessica hasn't made it out to happy hour. Lacey and Jessica at a Martin City happy hour, which you've been at. So you just keep coming to those. My question is, you work with a lot of different clients. What client do you find the most interesting? And you don't need to tell us who they are, but like what industry, what makes them so interesting?
Yeah, so industry agnostic, which is where I want to keep it. I love learning and being in new places. I'd say the most interesting so far was a short line railroad company.
Woo!
Things that I've learned about the railroad industry that I never would have thought. have been a lot of fun, and it's good people, and I think that's what's most important to me is people aspect. And so there's a lot of people that I've met through that were fun.
Did you ride the train while you were working with railroad?
I have not. I need to go and they did like a winter wonderland kind of happy hour thing for personal that I'll do at some point in my life.
I did a chaperoning kids train to Chicago. It was a very different experience than I had ever had before in my life. So.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Well, you keep calling him Mike. I keep calling you Michael. Which one do you prefer to go by?
Yeah, that's a curveball.
Either one's fine. Yeah, I don't have a strong preference. It's not some trick. Yeah.
It says Michael in front of me on the back end, so that's why I keep calling it. Anyways, okay, how are your 2025 goals going, and how can the Kansas City community help you?
Yeah, I mean, I think things are going well. We're obviously still very much in growth mode. Main thing is just networking. I would say any referrals, if anybody in Kansas City knows absolutely anyone that's interested in any sort of 1099 healthcare kind of contract or maybe in need of services, we'd certainly be happy to talk to anybody. We'll always take a meeting, whether it's coffee. We try to hammer coffees and lunches just with the kids. Happy hours are the best, but with juggling things with the kids and stuff, breakfasts and lunches are really where we're at. Spent a lot of time at First Watch as a result, but
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think no hard set like numbers or anything like that. Just keep momentum, keep having fun, keep helping people out.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, healthcare industry, I always feel is very it's kind of discombobulated from the business industry, right? So what are the type of like businesses that help get you connected, like business people that help get you connected to the healthcare, that have maybe more of a link to the healthcare industry?
As far as like what has been our in for clients, or?
Yeah, like I guess like, I don't know, like our CPAs, is that a way you're meeting a lot of clients? Like I always feel like those are two kind of different worlds. So how are you getting in always?
Oh, sure. So I think right now it's really just a product of both of us being in healthcare over the past, decade or so. And I think it's all just relationship based from that. And Ericka certainly being at a lot of hospitals in the area, we've really just kind of stayed in Kansas City, and that's where we've been able to leverage our network and have a lot of relationships that we're able to kind of feed off of for the time being between physicians and then I mean, anything on the sales side with like startups or things of that nature has been primarily just generated organically off LinkedIn. So there's no like true marketing strategy or any kind of that's been tried and true yet,
Yeah, the medical world is really, really interesting because you just kind of have to be in it. It's almost like Aaron, yourself in the theater community. And so Lacey, that is also in the comments, was in the medical space as well. So it's just one of those things, like when people want to get connected to medical, it's just super hard unless you live it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to send you an email. I have somebody that is pretty involved that I think it would be good for you guys to meet. So that's what I'm just sitting over here thinking out loud. I'm on separate screens when I'm at my office, so my mind works a little different.
Ooh, interesting. I didn't know that. That's a little tidbit.
It's a little bit different. So,
healthcare.
So it's the best way to connect with you, Michael, is LinkedIn?
Yeah, for sure. Either through Ericka's LinkedIn or my own. Yeah.
Okay. And David, best way to connect with you, LinkedIn?
Yep. And then our Flow Growth Partners LinkedIn as well.
Can you spell Flow for me?
Yeah, just FLO.
Okay, I thought that was sure. I just wanted to make sure everybody was on there. Okay, so look, it's a busy day today. So first of all, Jessica has an event coming up, new to kc.com/events. I love this type of
Follow
network.
Jessica.
So much stuff happens over here. If you guys want to reach out to Lacey, she has her email. You can go back and look at the comments on here. Fred says Scott Haven happy hours are priceless. Jessica says it is on the calendar. She's going to come see one of those happy hours. Lacey even wants to come to a Martin City invite as well. Jessica made fun of me for saying the train. Jill said more people should connect with David. And Lacey said, hey, let's all hang out. She's got some intros for you, Mike and Ericka. So she's got intros for both of you guys. So see, look at all this networking that's happened just right here online. Well, everybody except for me is home for a snow day. So, all right. With that said, we want to thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Evardy Construction and Bestway International. Make sure you connect with Michael and David, both on LinkedIn. And Scott, thank you so much for being the best co-host ever. We will see you guys same place, same time next week. We actually are booked back to back for the next few weeks with some pretty awesome guests. So make sure you come back. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.